This channel is supported by TrueFire. TrueFire is an online library
enough, you can get the TrueFire All Access Pass for as cheap as they ever do it, the $99 thing. So just jump and do that if you're looking for the best price that you can get TrueFire All Access for. Okay, it's another week. I hope this week is going to be better. I do occasionally get messages asking if I do one-to-one lessons. For me at the moment in my life, it's kind of difficult to fit those around family life. And in some cases, I just feel like it just isn't super beneficial for either of us, because it gets like, I've done a few of them, but sometimes it's like, it's matching up calendars and all that sort of stuff. But I do try and do like lesson things on this channel when I get the sort of inspiration. So Mondays, I always do something to get my fingers moving. And it's kind of, I think it helps me just keep some new ideas flowing, as well as breaking down some things that you guys might want. But do feel free to email me with suggestions, or Patreon if you've got specific ideas around concepts that you think I should be trying to talk about, such that you think I have anything that I could teach you per se, because I'm sure if it's one of you who's got the question, then maybe there might be 2 or 3 others as well. Do feel free to use the Buy Me a Coffee link if you find that these lesson type videos are at all useful. They tend to get less views, but that's fine. I would also say on that point that sometimes it does mean that I have to like catch up, so I've still got to do that Dire Straits lesson part and put the backing track on Patreon. So the more I do of these, the more work it gives me. But anyway, so this is an arpeggio idea I did throw up on Instagram last night that I'm really enjoying. It's going to blend a few different techniques around Hammer-Ons from nowhere, hybrid picking, and all sorts of stuff. It's a kind of tricky thing, but I've got it to the point where I'm starting to actually feel like I can experiment with this live and it not totally fall off the rails, as I show you from this live clip. If you want more of my live sort of solo transcriptions, there is a tier on Patreon where you get the full transcription every month of a solo. Sometimes it will be live, sometimes it will be like a request, but there is a place you can go for that, as well as like over 600 backing tracks. Patreon, it's £2 a month or £3 a month, depending on what you want to pay. And then also there's a £5 a month tier for the full transcriptions. This lesson here will be on the £2 ones. So, what we're going to do, you'll be able to follow along screen on the tab. Again, the whole point of this is that if you don't have any money pay, then you can still benefit from this. This kind of, I try not to rip you off too much. Right, so we're going to be in F. So this is the basic idea. So pluck F on the 8th fret, hammer on A on the 12th fret A string, pick C on the 8th, and then C on the 10th, hybrid on the 8th, so we get a 9 at the top. Now then I hammer on to the 10th fret for our 3rd. Right, and then we repeat. But instead of hammering on up to the 8th, we hammer on from nowhere down to the D on the 12th fret. Is that how it goes? So we go. So that's one full bar. Up, hammer on, up, then hammer on from nowhere, and then back up again, and then back down to your starting note. And that gets us a full bar, and then we can slide to our next point. So just take it slow. I've been working on this like on and off for a few months, so it's like just a little idea that I like. So that's the major version. So in F we could do that on the B flat. And if you want to repeat the phrase, just double tap the F. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's that. Right. It's a really tricky one, to be fair. Then we got a minor variant, which is, so we're going to do the D minor, that's our F. So minor, all we're going to need to do is flatten a third, right? So you get D, F, A, E, F. And then a hammer on from nowhere is going up to be a C. Time, I think this is something that gets to be a little bit more natural. I initially did this over Get Lucky. But it's such a cool little pattern that to me doesn't really sound too much like stuff that I've heard other people do before. Now let me know in the comments who you've heard doing this kind of thing, because I'm sure I can't be the first to have done anything like this. And you can experiment with where that tap ends up going. There's loads of different options about what you could do with that. Now the other thing that I thought was quite cool, so I'll just try and do this quickly. Now the second half of it, which is just that tap, what we could do this kind of thing. So that was some ideas. So F, so that's like the double tap one. So just 3 repeats and then a double tap. Or instead of a double tap, 8, 10, 13. And that's got a really cool sound too. So or this. Cool sounds, new to me. I don't think that many of you will have played arpeggios quite like that before, so I thought it was kind of a fun one. It does fall under your fingers eventually, but this right hand technique is going to take some time to get bedded in. And it's really tricky to kind of get that slower. I need to remind myself to play it slower. Anyway, Patreon for the tab, for the backing track. Catch you in another video soon. Cheers.